ranking every semi-relevant Shrouded Fables card. I forget who requested the tier list, but so the first one is the in my deck when set releases. Oh, here are the tiers. In my deck when set releases, maybe play one day, niche but cool. Forget in a day, forget in a second. Okay, so the first one is the spider, and there's like the baby spider here. The baby spider doesn't actually do anything relevant though, right? If Pokemon fights your opponent's like prevent all damage and effects of attacks done to this Pokemon. That's not like super relevant, right? I don't think. Yeah, I think that's super relevant. So forget in a second, forget in a second. I've already forgot about these cards. Bulu, 220 damage for 2 grass and 2 colors. Forgot in a second. Houndoom, forgot in a second. Most of the stuff's gonna be forget in a second. Let's see what the Weavile does. The Weavile, 70 damage. Discard all energy for this Pokemon. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed for 2 water energy. Ooh, could you do something with that? How would you be able to? So you could use Baxcalibur, Weavile, but then how are we like finishing off KOs? Build up the damage. I don't know how we're finishing off the KOs. I guess Radiant Alakazam, right? It would be like Radiant Alakazam. Excalibur, Weavile, Radiant Alakazam. Weaker Articuno. That's true. We already have Articuno. All right, so bad card. Forget in a day. Forget in a second. Another forget in a second. Revavroom. The Lightning Revavroom. Let's see what that does. Oh, it's right here. For a metal, 20 damage. If this Pokemon moved from your bench to the active spot this turn, this attack does 120 more damage. So 140 for 1 metal. Not terrible. Metal. 250. Discard this Pokemon all attached cards. So you could play Revavroom EX with Matang to constantly accelerate them over and over again, then discard them and kind of repeat the process. It doesn't seem terrible, to be honest. Honestly, that's kind of a cool idea. I like that. So I think this falls under niche but cool. Maybe play one day. I think maybe play one day should be like under niche but cool. But I feel like this fits niche but cool. Okay, the next card is the Drowzee line here. Psychic and Colorless Daydream, 80 damage. During your opponent's next turn, if they attach an energy from their hand to the defending Pokemon, their turn ends. Up next is Sylveon. Mystic Return. Flip a coin of heads. Choose one of your opponent's bench Pokemon. They shuffle that Pokemon and all cards attached into their deck. Let's do the Dusknoir while we're here, because the Dusknoir's got to be here. Oh, the Dusknoir and the Cresselia. So Cresselia, Psychic, Crescent Purge, 80 damage. You may turn one of your face down product cards face up. If you do, this attack does 80 more damage. Dusknoir, broken card, Cursed Bomb. Once in your turn, you may put 5 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. If you place any damage counters in this way, this Pokemon is knocked out. And then Dusknoir does the exact same ability, but 13 damage counters on one Pokemon, and then it's knocked out. Both of those in my deck when set releases. I don't know if this is the best Duskull, but we'll put the Duskull up there. This might be the best Duskull, and if it is the best Duskull, then it gets also that tier as well. Okay, Toxicroak. Oh, no, is there any more Psychic Pokemon? No more Psychic Pokemon. But there's some Water Pokemon. Oh, the Kingdra. Kingdra is kind of cool. Royal Command, put 3 Water Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench for 1 Water Energy. So you can put Baxcalibur on there. You can put this Kingdra. You can put the other Kingdra. Maybe play one day. It feels like a maybe play one day. Actually, no, I think it fits under the niche but cool. Niche but cool. Well, niche. No, I think it's a maybe. I think these are maybe play one days. Niche but cool is like this card. I feel like is niche but cool. But we'll get to that card here in a second. Forget in a day. Forget in a day. Niche, maybe play one day. This feels like a maybe play one day for sure. Maybe play one day in my deck when set releases. Or I guess I have to think about this less as a tier list and more of a like, how much am I going to play with these cards, or how much do I want to play with these cards on set release, right? The Kingdra deck honestly is kind of cool, so that's going to go up here. The Revavroom deck is maybe play one day for sure then. Okay. Up next is the Toxicroak in Fighting. Fighting colorless, 90 damage. If your opponent's active Pokemon is an evolution Pokemon, this is 90 more damage. I don't even want to read the little one. The Absol. For a colorless energy, 20 damage. If you have at least 3 dark energy in play, this attack does 50 more damage. So 70 damage for 1 colorless energy. And then one retreat. Niche but cool, I feel like. Morpeko, more HP than Morpeko. Niche but cool. Niche but cool. Like, you could put this in like the Roaring Moon deck. You're hitting for 70 damage if you Sada. If you have at least 3 Dark Energy in play, one would be on it, plus the Sada energy. It has more HP than Morpeko, so that'd be like the only reason to play it over Morpeko. So niche. So it's niche. So it fits that niche plus cool there, I think. All right, Metal Pokemon. The next was the Caparaja. As long as this Pokemon is in the active spot, your opponents can't play any Stadium cards from their hand. Metal Colus. 130. You may do 100 more damage. If you do during your next turn, this Pokemon can't attack. This thing is pretty terrible. I think it's Forgetting a Day, to be honest. Varoom. Oh, this Varoom goes with the Revavroom, though, I assume. But I guess I could just read it just in case. During your opponent's next turn, this Pokemon takes 30 less damage from attacks. I mean, it might be the best Varoom. I have no clue. It actually isn't the best Varoom. So forget in a second. There's a better Varoom. We looked at the better Varoom earlier. Oh, one or two cost 70 HP? Okay, never mind. Niche but cool. All right, Meowth Persian. Up next. Flip 2 coins. I mean, has got to be about the... Dude, what the heck? Why did this make the list? Wait, is this literally every... This is not every card. Wait, is this literally every card in the set? All right, Eevee, Furfrou. Wait, this might actually just be every card in the set. This is just every card in the set, isn't it? I didn't think it was every card, but I think this is literally every card. Search your deck for up to 3 basic energies of different energy types. Reveal them and put them to your hand. Terrible. Furfrou. Attach a basic energy from your discard pile to one of your bench Pokemon. 30 damage for a Colossus energy. Forgetting a Day, actually, to be honest. I don't... It's not good, but... Makes me think for a little bit. Search your deck for a basic energy card attached to this Pokemon for 1 Colossus. All right, these ones are going in. Forget in a second. I guess we're going back up to the top then. Yeah, we should just go down through the... Because it literally is every single card, actually. I didn't think this was every single card. All right, the Dartrix line. There's not that many cards in the set, though. Dartrix line. Rowlet. Obviously not relevant. Decidueye. I don't think it's relevant. For 1 grass energy, 170, discard a basic grass energy from your hand. If you can't, this attack does nothing. Also not, I don't think relevant, but Dartrix got that United Wings attack. 20 damage for each of your Pokemon you discard pile that has the United Wings attack. So maybe play One Day, I think, is where the United Wings lands for me. Houndoom's there. Iron Moth. 30 damage, heal damage from this Pokemon equals to the amount of damage you do to your opponent's active Pokemon. Fire costs 120 or during your opponent's next turn, prevent all damage done to this Pokemon by your opponent's ancient Pokemon. Oh, so it walls ancients? For Fire colorless? Nah. In a second. We did the Kingdra line, did the Weavile line, did this, did that, did those, did these, did those. All right. Bloodmoon Ursaluna. Once on your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand onto your bench, you may attach 2 basic fighting energy cards from your hand to this Pokemon. It's interesting. Fighting colorless. 100 damage plus 30 more damage for each damage card on your opponent's active Pokemon. Or Bloodmoon Ursaluna. I don't think it's like niche. To me, it's not even cool though. I think Forgetting a Day. It's a Forgetting the Day for me for sure. I've seen some people talking about this card, but this card sucks. Fighting colorless. If your opponent has a future Pokemon in play, this attack does 120 more damage. So this is just like an anti-Iron Hands card. And being anti-Iron Hands isn't really cool at all. So it's niche, but it's not cool. I don't want to play it One Day. So Forgetting a Day. Got the Crobat line here. Lead, search your deck for a supporter card. Reveal and put in your hand, then shuffle your deck. Really all about this one. Then once on your turn, if you played Janine's Secret Technique from your hand during this turn, you may draw cards until you have 8 cards in your hand. So pretty cool card, to be honest. And then Dark Colorless 120. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned during Pokemon checkup. Put 2 damage counters on that Pokemon instead of 1. There is a way better Golbat. So we've already forgot about this Golbat. We forgot about the Zubat. There's a better Zubat. Crobat, though, maybe play One Day. Definitely maybe play One Day. All right, so got the Phantom Jack. 60 damage for each of your opponent's Pokemon EX and V in play. This card sucks, man. These cards always suck. Go in there with him, Zura. Got the Malamar here. This card sucks as well. We'll go through it, though. We're not going to read them in Inkay sucks. Conspiracy Tentacle. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon to the active spot. This attack does 120 damage to the new active Pokemon. If you did not play Xerosix plan for your hand during this turn, this attack does nothing. So you have to Xerosix plan and then switch from the bench to the active and do 120 damage. Garbage. Yveltal, put 2 damage counters on each of your opponent's Pokemon that has any damage counters on it. That's kind of cool. Denying wins for a Dark Energy. A little bit of spread action. It's a niche plus cool right there. Niche plus cool for the Yveltal. I like the attack. Okay, the Okidogi, Monkey Dory, Pheasantipity, Pecharunt, Pheasantipity. Ability, once in your turn, if any of your Pokemon were knocked out during your opponent's last turn, you may draw 3 cards. You can't use more than 1 take advantage ability each turn. And then for triple colorless, 100 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. So it can be put in a lot of decks. The attack can be used with pretty much any deck. This is in my deck the first day. The Okidogi, Monkey Dory, and Pecharunt. Well, Pecharunt also is kind of... Pecharunt, I think, falls under the niche plus cool. And then the Okidogi and the Monkey Dory are kind of a package deal for like a deck, probably. Okidogi for 2 dark and a colorless, 130, plus 130 more if it's poisoned. Poison muscles search deck for 2 dark energy. Attach them to this Pokemon, then you are poisoned for a colorless. The ability of Monkey Dory, if this Pokemon is knocked out by damage from an attack during your opponent's turn, if you have Pecharunt EX in play, your opponent draws 1 fewer prize card, so they're only drawing 1 prize card in that situation. And then dark colorless, Dirty Headbutt, 190 during your opponent's next turn. This Pokemon can't use Dirty Headbutt. So, I mean, both of those, they're in play one day, maybe, I think. So, this guy's niche plus cool. Honestly, this guy just might go to the top, though, actually. It's just in my deck on set release. This card's just kind of cool. That's just a cool card. Yeah. So, we'll split them up like that. Genesect, if this Pokemon has any tool cards attached to it, your opponent can't play any A-Spec cards from the hand. I absolutely love this card. I'm excited for this one. Definitely a niche plus cool card from the set. You do need a tool card attached to it, but then you limit your opponent's access to the A-Spec cards. I love that coming back, because we had it in the past in the form of Spiritomb when we had older A-Specs. But all right, Haxorus. There's not many decks you'd immediately include it into. It's got that axe sound. If your opponent's active Pokemon has any special energies attached to it, it is knocked out. And then for Metal Fighting, 230 damage, discard the top 2 cards of your deck. So the first attack is like okay. The second attack is actually honestly okay as well. In the Regidrago deck by itself, it's bad. But I guess you would immediately add it to your Regidrago deck. Honestly, I don't even know if it is worth it, the inclusion of the Regidrago deck. It just maybe is. I'm gonna put it in niche but cool. Because it's like a cool addition to Regidrago, but that's about it. Axu and Fraxure. Actually, the Fraxure is really cool. This ability, we're maybe just waiting for like a good Haxorus. Whenever your opponent plays an item or supporter card from their hand, prevent all effects of that card done to this Pokemon. That's actually pretty cool. And it reminds me of the Flygon EX deck. Yeah, reminds me of the Flygon EX deck that existed for a little while. So this guy, definitely niche plus cool. This guy, I don't care about Axu, or however you pronounce that name. Kyurem. If your opponent has any card in this card with Colson in its name, this Pokemon's Trifrost attack can be used for colorless, and then the Trifrost attack, discard all energy attached to this Pokemon. This does 110 damage to 3 of your opponent's Pokemon. It's pretty good. Definitely not bad. It's pretty good. Yeah, this one honestly might get the in my deck when set releases treatment. We talked about the Persian. Yeah, I was trying to do them in like order of the tier list until I realized that the tier list literally just has every single card in it. I didn't realize how small this set was. All right, Binding Mochi. The attacks of the poison Pokemon this card is attached to do 40 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. Maybe play one day. Cassiopeia. You can use this card when it is the last card in your hand. Search your deck for up to 2 cards and put them in your hand and then shuffle your deck. This card seems terrible. Forgetting a day though. It's not getting the Forgetting a Second treatment. Search your deck for a Stadium and an energy card, reveal them and put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. Colress's Tenacity. Niche but cool, or Forgetting a Day. I don't want to have to play it one day. It's definitely not going in my deck off the rip. I don't want to play it. Niche but cool. Sure, niche but cool. Dangerous Laser. Your opponent's active opponent is now burned and confused. This card is terrible. Forgetting a Day. But actually, honestly, Forgetting a Second. That card's awful. Janine's a secret technique. Choose 2 of your dark Pokemon. For each of those Pokemon, search deck for a basic dark energy attached to that Pokemon and then shuffle your deck. If you attach any energy to your active Pokemon in this way, that Pokemon is now poisoned. This really only works really, really well in this deck. So I think I'm going to put it in the maybe play one day category. I don't know if I'm going to play this deck on day one. This deck kind of doesn't seem that fun to play, to be honest. So Janine goes alongside them. Because I don't even know what other deck you're going to play. You'll play with the Crobat, actually. You play with the Crobat. But the Crobat's also in the maybe play one day section, so what are you gonna do? Neutral center, prevent all damage done to the Pokemon prevent all damage done to Pokemon that don't have a rule box by attacks from their opponents. Pokemon EX or Pokemon V. If this card is in your discard pile, it can't be put back into your hand or shuffled into your deck. Actually, someone asked on Twitter, which is a good question, can you Silene for this card? It doesn't go to your hand, and then Silene doesn't shuffle it into your deck. Silene puts it on top of your deck. So can you Silene for neutral center? Like, just based on how it's worded. Well, I guess this isn't the official translation. As written, yeah, as written you can. But I don't know if that'll be the end ruling. Also, this is this might not be the 100% how it's translated, right? When we get the English card, it might be translated differently. We'll see. We will see. It definitely becomes a lot better if you can Silene for it, though, potentially. It is niche but cool. Nightmare Academy will start each player's turn. That player might put a card from their hand on top of their deck. Niche but cool. Night Stretcher, put a Pokemon or basic energy card from your discard pile into your hand. Niche but cool. Pokevital A, heal 150 damage from one of your Pokemon. Niche but cool. Power Hourglass. At the end of your turn, if the Pokemon this card is attached to is in the active spot, you may attach a basic energy from your discard pile to that Pokemon. This card is actually kind of sick. I want to play it day one, but I don't even know what this would be that good in, to be honest. Like, where it's actually, like, good. We'll go niche but cool. Definitely a cool card. And then the last one up, Xerosic Scheme. Your opponent discards cards from their hand until they have 3 in their hand. This card's niche. It's not cool. I don't want to play it. I maybe have to play it one day, but I just want to forget about it. So we're going to put Xerosic in, forget in a day, because it's definitely going to linger there. I'm going to know about it. I'm going to think about it. I don't want to. I'm not going to forget about it in a second, though. But hopefully I don't remember it longer than a day. And that is the Shrouded Fable card complete set tier list of what I think is coolest and what I want to play, and then what no one should care about, like the Dangerous Laser.